Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. We are back with a kind of tutorial. So everything that I'm doing in today's tutorial is something you've seen before, but really this is just my take at creating a design that was in my head that didn't quite come out exactly as planned. And so I'm still going to walk you through the steps. This has actually been sitting in my drafts for a long while. So everything I use will be listed and linked, but I'd love to see a recreation of this design and technique with your own special flair. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as I mentioned in the intro of this video, I'm not really going to do a whole lot of telling you guys what I'm doing. Everything that I've done in this video are all things that I've done in various tutorials on my channel. So I will link quite a few of them down in the description box, but I'm going to kind of explain where this cup idea came from, okay? So this was one of those, I don't know how many of you have these, but this was one of those middle of the night ideas that came to my brain. Now, did it turn out the way that my brain envisioned it? No, it did not. However, I do think that the idea is doable, and I think that if I am feeling up to it, at some point I will give this cup idea another go, but I think that sometimes in the process of creating, we don't always exactly master the vision we have for something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you my original vision for this cup or this cup idea. And then there's going to be a really amazing challenge at the end of this that is going to allow you guys to try and interpret my inspiration and idea in your own way. So the idea that I had at, the witching hour, one of these evenings in my sleep is so there wasn't really anything that I was particularly inspired by. So a lot of times, a lot of things that I create cups around is usually things that I see out and about. It might be a bag, it might be nails, it might be, an outfit that inspires me and I want to see if I can put that twist on a cup. This was not any of those things. Now, I don't know if I was dreaming. I don't know, but I had this really sort of idea in the middle of the night of having sort of a leopard swirl idea, but different. So you guys have seen my channel and you've probably followed me on other platforms. I love a good swirl. I just love a good swirl, whether that's a Milky Way, whether that's more of a mica hatching, swirl look. I am for it all the time. So the idea was to have both leopard print kind of present on the cup in a swirl form, but also some contrasting colors to kind of lighten up said cup, okay? So I knew that I wanted this cup to be sort of a dark base. Didn't need to be black, but something that was dark and could kind of hide leopard print in plain sight, if that makes sense. So a background that was deep enough that would hide the leopard print, but still allow it to kind of be shown. But I also didn't want the leopard print to be the star of the show. Surprise, surprise. I wanted these pigments or this swirl of these pigments to kind of be the star. Now, a couple places that I think I went wrong with this idea. I wanted two colors of pigment, at least two colors of pigment that could stand on their own very beautifully, but that also together complemented each other. And I think I did a really good job with the copper color. I think that was a great standalone color. I do think that the violet luster that I used on here was not giving the vibe that I wanted to. I don't think that it went as well with the copper color that I envisioned that it would on this black base. Okay, so I knew that I wanted a swirl. I know that I want leopard print. Okay. And so that was kind of the idea behind this cup. And again, this was not inspired by anything in particular. I will tell you that. But I knew that I wanted some swirl elements. I knew that I'd be okay with adding a little bit of glitter, but I wanted this to be, not a full glitter cup. I'm very familiar, right? And it's very much part of my aesthetic and the way that I create cups is I'm typically using a lot of glitter. And I wanted this to be more of a minimal glitter look or something that could be created completely without glitter. Now, of course, when in doubt, I always end up adding glitter, which is why I'm adding glitter, just to kind of give some highlights. But I think even the glitter that I chose, it's a beautiful glitter, and I chose it because it kind of gave those same colors that I use in the pigments. But I do think that even a different color choice may have changed the outlook of this cup. Maybe something that's a bit more translucent, maybe something that's just got a little bit of sparkle with like a holographic look might have changed the outlook of this cup. And so bottom line, basically my idea was to combine both swirl elements in pigment or glitter with leopard print, but I wanted this to have an sort of like a whimsical, sort of like ethereal look that I think that I was not able to accomplish on such a dark base. Now, I do love the idea of a dark base, but I think based on my color choices that it wasn't giving me the whimsical look that I was thinking it was going to give. And the other thing that I think kind of fell flat for this cup is that because I wanted to add leopard print, I thought by adding, you know, a black glitter with like a white glitter, I mixed Binks and Moon Dust from Baddie Glitter together. Figured that would give enough of the dark black a like pop of color and really make the leopard print sort of like stand up and stand off the background of the cup, the black base of the background. And I don't think that that happened. I think something that I might have changed for this is to either change my base color and go with a deep charcoal, so like a deep dark gray and almost black, but not 100% black. Because I think the black background really just, you know, when the light hits it, it just lets everything just kind of washes out. Like you don't really see anything on the surface of that cup as well as I wanted to. So I think that changing it to a deeper dark charcoal color and then using this same mix of glitter would have allowed those leopard print spots to pop so much more. So I decided to, you know, post this, give this to you guys, because I sometimes forget and we get in our own heads. And I know that I'm not the only one. There are many of us that just get in our own heads. And when we're not happy about how something came out, we just will kind of put it in the, put it in the back, right? Put it in the back of the shelf, put it in the strip pile, and just walk away and don't come back to it and pretend that it never happened, right? And to be honest, I would love to just put this in the back and never revisit it. However, I decided to post this because I think that I sometimes need to give myself a little bit of a reality check and remind myself that number one, we all start somewhere, right? So if I go back and look at some of my old cups, I probably would want to hide, number one, from when I first started, but to also remember that even though I've been doing this for years at this point, there are some times where just things don't come out as you wish, right? And maybe as you envisioned, but that doesn't mean that it's a failure necessarily. This is an opportunity to grow and learn and pivot. And maybe that's a cup that just sits on the sidelines and you revisit it and you revisit the idea at another time. And so I want this video to kind of be more of an inspiration, which is why I'm turning this into a bit of a challenge instead of just telling you how much I didn't love how this cup came out, because that's not fun for you, of course. But I wanted to turn this into a little bit of a challenge, okay? So I've kind of explained to you my idea, and I know it's a super vague idea, but sometimes that's just how the ideas that come out of my head show up, right? They kind of show up as vague ideas, and then it is my job, right, to try and interpret that vague idea onto a cup. So I'm sharing with you my vague idea because I want you to take this inspiration, this cup, this idea, this very loose, vague idea, and I want you to put your own spin on this. I think it's a great opportunity to test yourself, test your limits. This is definitely something that I'm also going to be revisiting and trying to recreate a little bit differently during this challenge. So yeah, here's the challenge details. Okay, so here's the challenge. Are you ready? What you're going to do is you're going to recreate this cup in your own special twist and way, okay? So you're going to use any style cup that you want, and the only thing that your cup needs to have is it needs to have some sort of swirl element, whether that's with pigments or glitters or something that creates a swirl effect effect on your cup. And then it needs to have some form of print. So that could be polka dots, that could be leopard print, it could be zebra print, it could be checker print, whatever is an inspiration to you and what you took from today's tutorial. I want you to put your own creative spin on this idea, and I want you to then create your cup and submit that to me either via email, which I will link down in the description box, as well as also possibly, if you're up to it, post it in my Facebook group, Alicia Be Creative Community. I'd love to see them and would love to put a compilation together of all of the inspiration, and then I will be picking a winner for a special prize that they will receive on January 11th, 2025. I cannot wait to see what you guys create and come up with. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.